Hi everyone, so this is my saddle assignment. So the first question is, what was your phrase and why did you pick that particular one? So the phrase I chose was, I can do anything I set my mind to. And at first I was going to go with the phrase, I can do it, but I felt like that was just so broad and like it couldn't really specifically relate to a lot of things. Like I felt like if I was saying it, I was just like, I can do it. So then like in my head I was like, all right, like I can do what? So I chose, it might sound cliche, but I chose I can do anything I set my mind to. I felt like when I was saying it to myself throughout the day, it was like just really uplifting. Um, and it could fit pretty much anything I was doing. So the next question, were you able to repeat it to yourself every hour? Yeah, I was able to. At first in the day, I set a reminder on my phone to go off every hour just because I didn't want to forget it or anything, and I knew I wasn't used to doing something like that. And then as the day went by, I actually started getting the hang of it, and I was remembering to do it every hour, and it was really cool. It kind of became a habit. Did it become easier to repeat this phrase to yourself as the week went on? So, yeah, like I said, it definitely became a habit. It was, I mean, throughout that day, by the end of the day, it was really easy to do, to remember to do it. And then later on, as the days went by in the week, it was just like, if I wasn't doing something, I would say it to myself. So I was saying it a lot more than once every hour. Um, do you think it helped you overcome any negative thoughts? Why or why not? So, I mean, I haven't really had a lot of negative thoughts. Like, I mean, I'm not a negative person. I don't have a lot of negative things going on in my life. But I feel like it more so helped me throughout my workouts and when I was getting on the ice with my old coach because it was like just kind of like that uplifting and motivating thing for me. Like when I was getting tired at the end of my workout, I would just, tell myself like I can do this, like I can do anything I set my mind to. Or if I messed up during a drill stick handling or something, it was kind of like that do over for like me and like to be able to refresh myself and tell myself that I can do this. Um so the next question is, do you think positive self-talk is important? Why or why not? So I think it's extremely important. I think self-talk in general is important because it can change your mood, it can change how you're feeling, it can change how your day goes, everything. So I think positive self-talk is super important because it could, like I said, for me, it could be that uplifting thing, that motivating phrase or whatever to just make you feel better and just make you more motivated. Um, were you able to get through the 3 minute plank? Did you talk yourself through it? Why or why not? So the first day I actually did it, I failed at like 2.5 minutes. And that was like really disappointing because I really thought I was going to get it, but I guess I just kind of stopped telling myself these positive phrases and I just kind of focused on like my body is very tired. So the first day I didn't get it, but then the second day I was super determined and I got it, and then the day after that I got it too. So it was getting a lot easier as the days went by and I realized I could do it. Did the plank become easier the second and third time you did it? Why or why not? So yeah, like I said, the second time, I think the second time was probably the easiest because since I failed the first time, I was super motivated to want to do it again. So then the third time it was still like, it was kind of just like, I've done it before, I can do it again. But I really think the second time was easier. Which inconvenient task did you choose? So I chose the one that you stated, how it's where if you hear hi, you have to find a mirror and repeat the phrase 3 times to yourself. Did you complete the inconvenient task every single time? Why or why not? So I'm pretty sure I did. I was actually that day, I was volunteering at work at this thing at a public library, and I was working with kids, helping them build crafts. So there was a lot of highs going on and a lot of parents, saying hi, their kids saying hi, all that kind of stuff. So what I would do, since there wasn't really a mirror nearby, I would take my phone and I would like open it up to my camera and I'd look in the camera and I would say the phrase 3 times to myself. So I might have looked a little weird, but I did that. And then if there was a lot going on and like I heard it but I wasn't able to do it right away, I kind of like kept a tally of how many times it was said, and then if I wasn't able to do it right away, I still, like, whenever I got the chance, I would open it and I would say it to myself. Um, The next question is, did you complete the inconvenient task every single time? Why or why not? Oh, I already answered that, sorry. What made it difficult to complete the inconvenient task? So for me, what made it difficult was that just having to be aware of every time someone said hi. Because, like, you know, you're not always listening to the things that are going around you. You're not always completely aware of everything in the background. So it was hard for me to keep focused on helping the kids, getting the kids to do what they needed to do, but also trying to keep my ears open to hear things that are going on. The next question is, did you complete the 20 minutes of the living statue portion? Why or why not? Yes, I did complete it. I was with my friends, so we went to the local park, and yeah, that's how I just did it there. They went and did their own thing, and I sat there for 20 minutes as a living statue. Where and in what stance did you pose if you completed this portion? So, like I said, we went to like our local park, and there's a bunch of trees there, so I sat under a tree, and I was sitting cross-legged, and I was just kind of like sitting there with my hands in my lap and kind of like a slight smile on my face, and I was just looking at everyone who came by. It was kind of awkward. Why do you think what appears to be an easy task, standing still or sitting, is so mentally taxing? So I think it's mentally taxing because a lot of times we're always used to doing things and moving, and we don't just stay in one spot and like just be a statue. And for me, it was kind of mentally tasking because I was uncomfortable with it. I don't really like to be stared at or a lot of attention on me. So when I was sitting there and it's just like all these random people and they would like stare at me because they're like, okay, why is this girl just sitting there like under the tree? That's kind of weird. And a lot of people were playing Pokemon at that park because it's a Pokestop. So there was a lot of people there, and it just made me feel mentally uncomfortable and physically uncomfortable. So I think that was kind of like something that was getting to me. But I did do it for the entire time. So which of these tasks was the most difficult for you? Why? So like I said, I think the living statue was definitely the most difficult because just like I said, like that's something that like I'm uncomfortable with. It was definitely out of my comfort zone, and there's just a lot of people there. So that's what seemed most difficult for me, is just like kind of like not caring about the judgments that people made about me, and just kind of like feeling a little awkward. And then the next question is, how can you relate any of these tasks to grit or the growth mindset? So for me personally, just going back to that living statue, one again, I really think that goes back to the growth mindset because I was uncomfortable. I was out of my comfort zone. I was standing there in front of or sitting there in front of a bunch of people, just, you know, sitting cross-legged under the tree and like having them stare at me. Like I could definitely like see them staring at me, feel them staring at me. But that kind of got me out of my comfort zone. And like we talked about getting out of your comfort zone, is that when you get out of the comfort zone and you're in that growth zone, that optimal growth zone, and anxiety, it makes you better. Like it gets you used to things. So I think that's definitely, it helped me get out of my comfort zone, get used to being uncomfortable and feeling awkward in things, but being okay with it and going through it all the way. So, yeah, so that's my assignment, and that's everything I did. I hope you guys are having a great summer, and I will see you all soon. Bye!